Hi, I'm Kesha Williams, an AWS machine learning hero and Alexa champion, and this is Kesha's Corner, where we learn about artificial intelligence and machine learning on AWS. So come and learn with me as we transform your engineering skills and future-proof your career. Today, we're going to talk about preparing your data for machine learning. Machine learning depends heavily on data. The data prep stage is very important. The higher quality of your data, the higher quality of your predictions in the long run. In this prep stage, we have to focus on both quality and quantity. Bad data in can limit the effectiveness of the machine learning models you create, which in turn diminishes overall public trust in the technology, which we don't want to happen. Now, most of the work that goes into producing a machine learning model occurs in this data prep stage, which is shown as the pink blocks in our diagram. It's great that you have massive amounts of reputable data, but are they in a format that a machine can learn from and easily find trends and patterns in? Now, typically the answer is no, it's not. So you have to go through a labeling, cleaning, and transformation process. Developers and others transitioning to machine learning often underestimate the time needed to label, clean, and transform data. And when dealing with data, domain expertise plays a big role. You would definitely be less effective when working with data if you didn't understand it. It's really important to understand which attributes, called features, are of real significance to a given data set. It makes the process easier and the output better. When dealing with supervised learning, you'll have to label your data. Let's take the case of building a computer vision system that is reliable enough to identify cats, dogs, and birds. Well, the training data has to be labeled with the correct answer. So pictures of cats have to be labeled or tagged as cats. Pictures of dogs have to be labeled as dogs. And well, pictures of birds have to be labeled as birds. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, it's going to take a long time to manually label the thousands and thousands and thousands of images a machine learning algorithm needs. Luckily, AWS has a service called SageMaker Ground Truth that can help speed up the labeling process. Ground Truth is a service that uses machine learning to label data, and it also provides access to human labelers through Amazon Mechanical Turk. Now let's look at data cleaning and transformation. Data cleaning is where you analyze the data and deal with any missing or empty records, incorrect values, duplicates, typos, etc. Let's say you have this data set here, and you notice several null or empty values. You can get rid of that single row, and now the single row is called an observation. You can get rid of this observation altogether, or you can substitute the missing value with dummy values. You may even find some features to be irrelevant to the problem you're trying to solve. So those observations can be removed, and that's called record sampling. Now let's talk about data transformation. This is where you change the features to make them more useful and easier for a machine to understand. Let's take the example of categorical encoding. Now, this is just a fancy way of saying that you have a feature that can be grouped in one or more categories. Within categorical encoding, there's a really cool sounding data transformation technique called OneHot Encoding. Let's say you have a feature in your dataset called color that can have one of three values, red, white, or blue. Well, most machine learning algorithms can't handle the strings red, white, and blue. The features have to be numeric. How can you represent the colors red, white, and blue as numbers? Well, you can one-hot encode your categories. This technique creates a new column for each unique value. In our example, red, white, and blue will become three distinct columns. A row or observation with the color value of red will have a 1 in the red column, while the white and blue columns will each have a 0. A machine can easily understand this format. Another part of data prep is called feature engineering. Feature engineering is the process of creating new features based on existing features. Take a look at this. Do you recognize it? What is it? You're right. It's a date timestamp. Do you think a machine can find patterns when a feature is formatted like this? No, it can't. It would be easier if we split this feature out into 3 new features: month, time of day, and day of week. Now, trends can be found across months, days of the week, or even time segments during a given day, like morning, afternoon, or night. Now that you have a data set that is labeled, cleaned, and transformed, the final step is to split your data into 2 distinct sets, one for training and one for evaluation. The training set typically contains 80% of the records, and the evaluation set typically contains 20% and is used to evaluate the quality of the machine learning model produced during training. Well, that's it from me. Today we looked at data preprocessing and preparation with a focus on labeling, cleaning, and transformation. I hope you'll join me in our next edition of Kesha's Corner, where we talk about the inner workings of the training process. See you next time.